Rebound by Ann Butler. Their relationship had started so well, hers and Aggie's. When Aggie had first come to work with Christine, she thought, here's someone I can dazzle, like I have so many others. She so understated and was so obviously impressed by Christine. Christine thought, she'll be so easy to manage. The top shine wore off the gloss around the time when Aggie delivered her first project. Christine had been certain that she'd need to mentor Aggie across the line, but not at all. Aggie had got on with her assignment with minimal supervision and delivered excellent work. The plaudits that came Aggie's way from counterparts in other teams was to Christine like stepping under a cold shower on a hot day. She was the shining star in the team. There wasn't room for another. She'd need to fix that. By the time she'd assigned Aggie her third project, Christine had devised a strategy. She co-opted a negative whiner to work alongside Aggie. She took Aggie out for coffee to explain that, while she had been doing good work, a couple of people had come to Christine off the record, voicing concerns that Aggie tended to rub people up the wrong way and could be a little aggressive in her interactions. I've asked Mary to work with you on this new project to help smooth things out. Just to help quash all that negativity. Mary knows how to get along with people and she can show you the way. We don't want another failure to hinder your progress. Aggie had gone back to her desk looking bemused, and by the end of the week, Christine was pleased to see that working with Mary, plus the introduction of daily update meetings, had visibly knocked Aggie's confidence. She only came back to life when she was out on their regular team after-work socials. Aggie's colleagues liked her a lot. They asked her advice. They asked her about her wedding plans. And they always wanted to know about her and her fiancé's latest DIY project. They were out on one of those regular socials now. Christine stewed as she watched Aggie bantering with Ash. The two were standing at the bar getting in the drinks order. Christine knew that Aggie and Ash were just workmates, but it pissed her off that the two were so close. Aggie was such a goody two-shoes. She sickened Christine. She also made Christine nervous. When they'd been friendly, Christine had confided certain things. So Aggie knew where her bodies were buried. She didn't want a stray comment to scare Ash away now that he'd finally got around to asking her out. She'd had her eye on Ash for ages. No matter that she was senior to him in the firm, they weren't in the same chain of command and didn't have the same boss, so they weren't breaking any rules. Still, there had been some sideways glances once word got out that she was seeing someone junior. Not that she cared. She fancied Ash. He made her feel good, and she made him look good, seeing as how he'd bagged a senior manager. So, win-win. Christine absently smoothed her hands down her sides to check that her Spanx was doing its job. When she was satisfied that none of her podge was visible, she did her best saunter over to where that irritating woman was holding court. Christine gritted her teeth as she grudgingly noted how good Aggie looked in her plain, old, corporate grey tailored trousers and white-fitted shirt. On Christine, the same outfit would have made her look frumpy. She pulled her mind away from the bitter envy that now coloured all her thoughts and interactions with Aggie, and plastered on her trademark megawatt smile. When she walked up to where Aggie and Ash were talking, she wasn't surprised to hear that the subject was new kitchens. "Ags, you're not boring on about your house again, are you?" She laughed and was gratified that a couple of people who had trailed behind her laughed along. Come on, Eggs, have another drink. She nudged her playfully and noted the dimming smile with satisfaction. She then went on to hijack the conversation and talked about a holiday she'd planned for a while, hinting that Ash would be joining her. She ignored Ash's attempts to change the subject. That is, until she noted a couple of people exchange eye rolls. At her story. What the fuck? No one eye-rolled Aggie. She pondered on that some more when, at the end of the evening, Ash made his excuses and didn't come back to hers. Before Aggie came along, Christine had been the star of her show. She hadn't hired Maggie as an understudy, but her peers were now starting to make noises about giving her more responsibility. Have that boring upstart steal her light? No bloody way was Christine sitting still for that. But she was out of options. So far, she'd tried gaslighting the little bitch. She continued pairing Aggie with Mary, who's one of the most difficult people on earth, and then she'd been forced to put her cards on the table, suggesting that it might be best if Aggie moved to another team. Aggie had given her a strangely knowing look and changed the subject. Not a pushover after all. The night before, Ash had asked Christine why she didn't like Aggie. Christine told him that Aggie was high maintenance and was a liability. Ash had been surprised to hear that Aggie was actually not very good at her job, and in the end had been very sympathetic. Bless. But back to the matter in hand. Christine wanted Aggie gone. She had an idea. She needed to speak to a family that had been gossiped about in the community for a long time. Word on the street was that 2 generations back, this family practiced some form of magic, shall we say? Christine didn't understand everything that she'd heard, just that it involved some sort of dark magic. Back in uni, one of her cousins had told her that she'd gone to see someone in this family when she'd been unable to get pregnant. She wouldn't say what she paid him, only that 3 months later, bingo. When Christine repeated the story to her mum had kissed her teeth and told her to stay away from the cousin's branch of the family. They like magic too much, her mum had said. She'd closed up like a clam when Christine tried to get more information. Christine ignored her mum's advice and stayed in touch with the cousin, and they were still close. If some spellweaver can make you pregnant, it must be an easy thing to make someone resign, right? She got in touch with the cousin. The cousin told her that, as far as she knew, the family was still in business. Be careful though, cuz. Sometimes, if you don't ask right, it can backfire. I know what I'm doing, cuz. Trust. Her cuz gave her the credentials. Christine was surprised how easy it was to make contact. When she turned up for her appointment, the alleged spellcaster was a woman. She told the spellcaster what she wanted. She made sure it was clear that she didn't want to be working with Aggie anymore, and asked what she needed to do to make it happen. You sure that's all you want? Christine grew weary at the smile on the woman's face, but she said yes, that's what I want. Christine's second surprise was what the woman asked for in payment. A donation to a shelter for teenagers. She didn't quibble. If that was all it took to get rid of the current bane of her life, then whatever. It happened quickly. A week later. Her director, Temple, called her in for a chat. He mentioned one of the partners in the firm. This partner really liked Aggie, apparently. Christine tried not to roll her eyes, but couldn't stop her mouth from falling open in shock at Temple's next sentence. The partner has poached Aggie for his team, effective a week from now. Aggie would be moved up to assistant director to manage the projects coming out of the partners division. A partner that Christine knew very well, had flirted with, bantered with, had drinks with, thought she had him eating out of her hand. That partner wanted Aggie. Aggie! She held the scream inside as she walked over to Aggie's desk. Well, Aggs, I expected a bit more loyalty from you after all I've done for your career. Aggie looked up from her keyboard. Christine was surprised by the contempt in Aggie's gaze as she gave her a once-over. You don't want me working for you anymore, so what's the problem? Oh, wait. When you suggested I transfer out, was I not supposed to move into a position senior to yours, Chrissy? Aggie snickered and got up from her desk. As she gathered her stuff, she got in one last blow. I'm going on garden leave until my new contract kicks in. She looked Christine dead in the eyes. We don't work together anymore. And then she walked away. You have just listened to Rebound. The story was written and narrated by Ann Butler. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this story. Subscribe to receive notification of new episodes. Please note that no portion of this story may be broadcast or reproduced without written permission from a member of the Book Griffin team.